Hi, welcome back. This is Inner Peace Place, and we're on lesson number 10. Come a long way. Today's lesson is titled, Heed What You Hear. This is all from the book Inner Peace, the Soul Self Remembered. And the premise of the book is that the personality self decisions are made from our past experiences, and the soul self decisions are made from this moment. And I want to talk a moment about our personal truth. I mean that today in this talk as a way of saying my life path, my choice of who I am and what I stand for and how I want to get to the path and how I want to conduct myself on my path. My personal truth is what I live most of the time. Now, some people that you know do that all the time. If somebody approaches them with an idea and they don't feel comfortable with it, they just simply say that. Well, that just doesn't work for me right now. Or they may just say, no, I don't want to do that. And I'm always like, oh my gosh, they're so brave. But really they aren't brave. They're just very solid in their personal truth. I want to be just like that when I grow up. In the past, what I've done is I abandon my path and I go along with the flow of these other people. Now, the whole time I'm doing this, I know I'm not being true to myself. But to not hurt anyone's feelings or to not rock the boat, I go with them. I do what is going on. Where do you guys want to go eat? Well, it doesn't matter, Or, that's a silly one, but true. If you really hate Chinese food and you go, yeah, sure. You could have said, well, Chinese isn't my favorite. And then someone else may say, well, it isn't mine either. And then the group decides to go somewhere else. So you know that being true to yourself is for your best interest, but we just don't do it consistently. Fear takes over. Fear of not being liked, or fear of not being understood, or fear of not meeting the standards. When some group or another individual asks you for your opinion about something, you might not be truthful about it. You may just say, oh yeah, that looks great. And it really doesn't. Maybe you should say, well, maybe a little bit more work would be good. Or, there's so many things. The people that stand in their own shoes, on their own path, and follow their truth are, in my opinion, admirable. I'm impressed. They don't do it with rudeness or with negativism. They just simply state their truth. It sounds so easy, but it's not. We need to trust our guidance, trust the path that we selected, trust our inner guidance when something fluffs up, when somebody asks you a question, and you're making that decision, how should I answer this? Stick to our truth. There's so many ways to do it without being rude. There are so many ways that we can be true to ourselves and yet not bulldoze through other people. That's not what we want to do. We don't want to change our path to please others. I don't want to change my path to make a situation better. Now, if I choose to do that, in other words, I know I'm in the moment and I go, I know this doesn't go with what I had chosen, but for the sake of X, I am going to choose to, eyes wide open, veer a little bit. That's acceptable, and sometimes we need to do that. But I'm talking about being wishy-washy in the eyes of others because you don't have a path, you don't have a truth. And so people tend to you're magnetizing people to abuse you or to take advantage of you. Whether they realize they're doing it or not, that's what they're doing. We need to be true to our guidance. We need to be solid and firm and fearless because we have the right to be that way. We are powerful beings in this moment. So when you are being you're in a situation where you feel that you're about to step away from your truth, that's coming from the past, a fear of something, or a dislike of discomfort, or the desire to keep things flowing around you, which is dysfunctional. You don't have to do that. We need to understand that we're not responsible for everyone else's feelings. You and I are not responsible that everybody gets along. Stand true to your truth, and you magnetize into your life situations and people that will respect your truth. Now, it takes a while to do this because your truth is weak initially. You know, this new path that we've chosen. And as it gains momentum, as it gains strength, as the smoke pattern is more consistent, then it starts attracting the right people into your life. And I can attest to that. It also starts attracting more situations that bring you joy, and not the situations that are fake or feel that you're having to keep your mouth shut about X when you really want to express yourself more. You want to stand firm in the desires of your peace-filled life. Be joyful about it. And when you feel that situation come up, take a deep breath or take a shallow breath, just breathe, with the intention of connecting with your all that is, with your higher self, your soul self, and make a decision based in this moment without fear of retribution, without any fear that you're going to rock the boat. How do I make a decision? How do I say something that is for the highest good of all? That's a very powerful one. Ask. Say, what can I do in this situation for the highest good of all the people involved? And the more you do it, the better you get at it, the quicker it is. And then you have to listen. Listening, yeah, right. Once you've connected and you've asked, then one more part of that is being open to hearing and or understanding or just a natural knowingness of what to do next. Sometimes you won't really want to hear what you're about to be told, and that's okay, as long as you're aware, gee, I heard that, but I'm just, not going that way. And that's okay. Again, you're educating yourself, your connection is strong, your connection is easy to find, but you've chosen to do something else, and you are all powerful, and by all means, do it. If you feel comfortable with this sudden knowingness of perhaps a place to go or answer to give, then use it and see how it flows for you. Experiment with it. If you decide you want to get off your path, do it with your eyes wide open. Do it with reason. And then when you do your personal time, you can go back, review that situation, and set a plan or have some responses for rehearsed in your head. If you don't have something already pre-planned, it's going to be too difficult. And so what you want to do is say, I could say, I'm not feeling the flow for that, or I'm just not really in the mood for that, or no, let me think about it, or let me think about it. You'd be surprised at how many times if I had just said, let me think about that, the other person would have said, oh, okay. And then you get back to them later after you've chewed on it, and then you can give a response that stays true to yourself. People don't have to be answered just because they asked you a question. People don't have to have a response just because they came in the room immediately. Wait until it's right for you to make a response. When you feel connected and you found the answer that stays true to your truth, and then you'll find that the entire makeup of your world starts shifting in this direction. I bring myself the least amount of peace when I make a response too quickly, or without thought, or with thought only of others. You may say, well, I thought that's what we're supposed to do, but that isn't the truth. Truth is your path. Now, you're not going to bulldoze people out of the way to continue on your path. Kindness and love and joy and compassion is what we want. So compassionately say, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go. I don't want to do whatever it is. You don't have to be rude to get your way. And by connecting and listening to what you hear, you're more powerful in love, in graciousness, that the person will hear it, whatever you're saying, in a more gracious manner. Be true to yourself all the time, as much as you can, and you'll find that your life becomes so much more flowing in a direction that you enjoy. Peace doesn't come automatically. We have to work for it. And part of that is getting uncomfortable with the fact that, oh, I don't want to be rude to them. So don't be rude. Don't give an answer. Think about it. And then once you're connected, give them the answer with love and light. Give them the answer with respect for who they are. They came up with this idea. Lovely. I'm just not flowing with it right now. Or this really doesn't fit into my schedule. Or you can come up with all sorts of things. The truth is it doesn't fit in with my schedule. The non-truth would be, sure, okay, yeah, I'd love to go. There's no peace in that. And we are day in, day out on a new path of grasping at what brings us joy. And that is our truth. And embedded in that truth is listening to any guidance that you receive, listening to your logic and gifts that we've all got, but maintaining respect for others when we do this. Sometimes I mention music because I'm a big music person. One of the groups I listen to is Beautiful Chorus, and they are on YouTube. Some of their music pretty much vibrates with me, so I would be remiss not to talk to you about it, because when you have ways to connect that are unique, you'll find a new way of connection, and that just fills you up even more. Love and light to your path, and I'll see you in the next video.